oh, he's too small, he's not strong enough, they told us during the winter, to ride a MotoGP bike. His 4th pole position yesterday. He's already won 2 Grand Prix. He's 2nd in the World Championship behind his teammate, Nicky Hayden. And he is absolutely flying.
And just a quick update on the temperature at the moment, getting up to about 25 degrees air temperature, nudging 26, with a ground temperature now of 36 degrees. So it is getting remarkably warm down here, but we've still got this headwind along the straight, probably a bit stronger than what it was at the start of the 250 race. And while I've got a chance, I'll just go and get one of the guys that should be favourite, the championship leader at the moment, Nicky Hayden, back on the front row of the grid. Got a good view.
Yeah, definitely got a good view, and yeah, I feel good. I mean, it's been a pretty good weekend so far, but this is what counts. And you know, when the slide goes out, just put my head down and leave it all here in Germany.
And also good consistency through the practice and qualifying for you too, to get those consistent 125 laps.
Yeah, I've been pretty consistent, and I did a lot of laps on race tires, but you know, you never know what these guys got until we line up. But you know, I feel like I can definitely go their pace, I hope. I mean, I'm sure there's a few guys quite quick, and you know, it would be nice to have a couple more tenths, but hopefully we'll be able to hang in there.
Well, hopefully it's your day, mate.
Yeah, sounds good, thanks.
Nicky Hayden, championship leader, winner of the Dutch TT at Assen this season. He has a 26-point lead in the championship. He's qualified 3rd fastest. Separating him and Danny Pedrosa, his teammate, Kenny Roberts Jr. What a performance by Kenny Roberts Jr. And here is Nicky Hayden now. Very, very important 2 races for the American. Of course, this one in Germany, and then in 1 week's time, he goes home to defend his US Grand Prix title, the race he won last year. Not only is he defending that title, he's defending that championship lead.
Well, someone that was just on screen, there was Kenny Roberts in the middle of the front row. Kenny, like I just said to Nicky Hayden, it's probably the best view you can have except taking the checkered flag.
Yeah, probably pretty correct there, huh?
A good warm-up for you?
Yeah, we just we were dedicated to scenarios, tire-wise, and running stuff in. So got to Valentino came by me. It was about 5 minutes to go when I was coming out of the pits on my run, and got to follow him around. He looked good. He looked quick, like he always does. And I think at some point he'll get up there to the lead group if he gets through traffic good enough. I felt comfortable behind him, and felt like I could have went a little quicker, but depending on gas levels in my group compared to his, this is the race, and this is what determined the outcome, right?
Yeah, all the best.
Kenny Roberts Jr. sounds a little nervous there, no wonder why.
He did, didn't he?
Because he knows, doesn't he? He knows that he is in a chance of certainly finishing on the podium or even winning this one. So Pedrosa, Roberts and Hayden on the front row. On the second row of the group, we can have a quick look at Shinya Nakano. First of the Bridgestone runners, he qualified 4th fastest. Alongside him on that second row, Loris Capirossi, fastest in the morning warm-up.
Now, Nick, I've got Alan Smith with me, the Manchester United star. Alan, a good day here to come and watch a bike race.
Just a bit. Unbelievable weather. Hospitality's been brilliant from Riza Suzuki, and just looking forward to a great race now.
I'm sure a lot of people have wanted me to know, how is the ankle these days?
Yeah, it's good. Coming on well. I'm back in training now. Hopefully build up and be back playing in September.
All right, you should get out on a motocross bike, I reckon. That's good for the fitness.
I don't think our gaffer would have a lot to say about that, but no, I love bikes, always have done, and I say it's a pleasure to be here today, and looking forward to a good race.
We'll enjoy every moment of it.
Thanks, mate. Thank you.
As Alan Smith, the England Football International, made a long trip over to Germany. He wanted to come to Germany to play in the World Cup. Unfortunately, an horrendous ankle injury playing against Liverpool, the big local derby, ruined any chance he had, but very keen on bikes and rumoured to be interested in helping a British Superbike team next year. We wait to see.
Well, now I've got one with me that's on the bike at the moment, John Hopkins. Not where you've been in the last couple of weeks, but it all depends on the start.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the key is just to get a good start, run with the top of the group. Yeah, we struggled a little bit with the setup, but we've just changed some stuff, and it feels really good on the siding lap. So, you know, we're just going to go out, get a good start, and give them hell.
And new Bridgestones as well.
Yeah, Bridgestone seem to be working well. So let's see if we can make it last throughout the race and just fight for good points.
Okay, leave you to it.
Cheers.
John Hopkins qualified 9th fastest, so further down than it's been 3 times on the front row of the grid this season, John Hopkins, and of course that pole in Assen Completing the second row of the grid, we saw Marco Melandri, who just casually announced to the press, didn't he, Mark, this weekend, that he's been riding the last 2 races with a fractured collarbone, including a 3rd place at Donington Park. He is a tough boy.
Yeah, well, there's a tough boys all around at the moment, so they're everywhere at the moment. I might try and get word with one of the toughest in the paddy. He gets my vote for the toughest of the year, Loris Caparossi, slowly getting up towards the front of the grid again.
Yeah, well, I make a pretty good job during the practice Friday and Saturday. You know, today is for sure the race is a little bit difficult for me because showing consecutive laps is really hard. But anyway, I try to do my best in Rossi. I think we are quite competitive there.
Well, you got good times on race tyres. You were the fastest yesterday, so that's good for your confidence.
Yeah, I am quite confident about that in Rossi.
Just one, how is the body?
Yeah, not too bad.
All right, good on you.
Thank you.
Yeah, he's not too bad, and our interpretation are not too bad. Are two vastly different things, aren't they?
Exactly right.
Yeah, he's still well knocked about. There is Casey Stoner. Oof, dear me, there's Casey Stoner's bit. Just remind you, Casey Stoner will not take part in the race after a big crash in the morning warm-up. He was taken to hospital in Chemnitz for a scan after suffering concussion. The scan was absolutely clear, but the doctor at the circuit says concussion, he cannot race. So I'm afraid Casey Stoner is out of the race. Here is John Hopkins, a particularly pretty young lady with him. John Hopkins we had a good chat to just now. He qualified 9th fastest on the 3rd row of the grid. He would have been alongside Casey Stoner. With Sete Gimeno, as I say, back in action, right in the Ducati, 7th fastest, also starting on that 3rd row of the grid. John Hopkins has made some great qualifying performances this season. You've got to say the tyres have let him down, but they've gone off at vital moments. When they've gone off, he slipped back through the field, and I think she felt very, very sorry for him in that situation. Olympic team ski jump champion, Stefan Hock. Talking about tough men, Mark. Ski jumping, you've got to be tough to do that.
Yeah, and a little bit crazy, more than these crazy guys, I think.
Same sort of mentality.
Exactly, moving down the back of the grid a bit further than usual, Chris, but you've had a really difficult time learning this track, and it just shows you how demanding this track is.
Yeah, it is. It's only the smallest in our European calendar, but bloody hard work to learn. It's very tight and twisty and up and downhill and very blind. But I was quite happy with the lap time I did, considering I've never been here and Friday morning was wet. Only 0.2 of a second behind Valentino. So the race is another story. You know, we've got 30 laps to do, and see how we go.
All right, mate, leave you to it.
Thanks, Rossi.
That's Chris Vermeulen. He's qualified 14th fastest on the Suzuki. As he said, it's a new circuit. It's not difficult. It's very difficult to learn. But I think Chris Vermeulen would probably learn a lot more during the race itself. A lot of attention down here on the grid. I wonder why. It's a certain Valentino Rossi. He's qualified 11th fastest. We will start from the 4th row of the grid. 3 wins this season. Of course, he started at Donington Park from the 12th position, gained the 4th row of the grid, rode his way through to finish in 2nd place. But I think everybody knows, and everybody's said so far, Mark, he's got to make a good start, because passing here, I watched this morning Nicky Hayden trying to get past Chris Vermeulen. It is really, really tough.
Yeah, it is. It's just that particularly this first section where it just keeps going on and on, these really tight corners, and the corners actually change camber in mid-corner as well. So if you go out a bit wide, you can be running off the side of the track as well. So you've got to be really committed to try and get around here. And then at the later section, like we say, that fast downhill section through there, there's a good chance to do some late out-braking manoeuvres.
Valentino Rossi back on that 4th row of the grid with Makoto Tamada and Carlos Checa. And a good performance by Carlos Checa. He really is putting some useful performances to bed now on that Tech 3 Yamaha with the Dunlop tyres. And Mark, it does appear that the Dunlop tyres, certainly in the race, are improving all the time.
They certainly are. They're having a bit of trouble with the qualifying tyres, and even the race tyres, they're not getting the side grip that they've been wanting. And Hervé Pontrel and Carlos's main concerns at the moment are the final 10 laps. They've got a good setup, and as Chris alluded to, it was a bit wet here on Friday morning, so every team lost a bit of setup time, and that's where the Yamaha team, or Tech 3 Yamaha team, lost a bit as well. They still hadn't settled on a race setup up till the morning warm-up, so hopefully they've got that sorted. But they'll be just so close. He was only less than a 10th of a second behind Valentino Rossi in qualifying, and that's another fillip to confidence.
Randy Depunier on the 5th row of the grid, 13th fastest crash this morning in the warm-up. This is Chris Vermeulen. You heard from Chris, of course, runner-up in the World Superbike Championship last year. Made a very, very good impression in his first year in MotoGP. When he comes to places like the Saxon Ring, they are difficult to learn. Certainly difficult on a big MotoGP machine. So his times haven't been bad, but he's a little bit down the grid in 14th place.
Well, Michelin described this place as a go-kart track in the press release outlining how critical a tyre selection is around here because of the amount of left-hand turns. But the go-kart track is, like I said, that first bit, and I don't think the television shows you how difficult that part of the circuit is. But 30 laps around here on a MotoGP bike, I think these guys can have it to themselves.
Safety car, safely negotiates turn 1. So he's safely through. The grid now formed up, ready to go. It's round 10 of the MotoGP World Championship. It's going to be some race. It's not a race for Colin Edwards. He really has struggled with practice and qualifying. He's qualified 15th fastest. It's his lowest grid position since Jerez 2005. I'm sure Colin will not need us reminding him of that, but he really has struggled, as has the team, this whole weekend, Mark.
Yeah, it has. We noticed out there yesterday, Nick, when we went out and watched some of that last practice session in the morning, how much movement the Yamahas of Rossi and Edwards are getting compared to everybody else. Getting the drive up the hill and also coming out of that fast right-hand corner, not getting a drive, and the bikes actually, you could see that from over 100 metres away, how much they were bouncing down the track and everything. And hopefully, well, yesterday afternoon, Rossi sorted a few things out on race tyres. He was up with the pace setters as well, but Colin Edwards, he must be, as he said in the press conference and afterwards to me, he said, I've just been scratching my head every time, whichever direction we go, we can't seem to be getting it right.
Tony Elias is qualified on the 6th row of the grid on his return after missing Donington Park and Assen. Alex Hoffman alongside him, 17th fastest. Alex Hoffman after 2 rides on the official Words Ducati, placing the injured Sete Gibernau. James Ellison is qualified in 18th place. Of course, that's Carlos Checa's teammate. But now we look across the front row of the grid for round 10 of the championship. Championship leader, Nicky Hayden. A winner here 7 years ago, Kenny Roberts Jr. And the man of the moment, Danny Pedrosa, his 4th pole start of the season.
Are you ready, Blue?
30 laps, 3.671 kilometres, 2.281 miles. Sete Gibernau still holds the lap record. Danny Pedrosa, though, holds the fastest ever lap round here. It's a 1:21.815 for a 20-year-old Spaniard on the front row. The American, Spaniard, 3 rows. Second row, Giuliano, Lawrence Capuano, and Marco Melandri. Third row, Sete Gibernau, John Hopkins, and Koto Tamada. Fourth row, Valentino Rossi, Carlos Checa, and Randy Depunier. Row 5, Chris Vermeulen, Colin Edwards, Tony Elias. Row 6, Alex Hoffman, James Ellison, and Cardoso. And the sad news is that Casey Stoner will not ride in the race this afternoon. Following a crash in the morning warm-up. He was taken to hospital for a scan. He is perfectly okay, but he is suffering from concussion, and the circuit doctor will not allow the 20-year-old Australian to compete. Air horns, enormous noise. Today's spectator attendance, 93,746. And that's a bigger crowd than any crowd that attended a World Cup football match during the World Cup competition here in Germany. Although, if we're being really honest, if the stadiums had been big enough, they probably would have got some bigger crowds. But don't let the facts spoil a good story, man.
Exactly right. Looking around here, Nick, just at the crowd and the atmosphere and everything, the Ferris wheel in the background, huge campground that's been absolutely packed since Thursday. I think they might have missed a few.
Probably a few sneaked in under the fence or came in the old transit vans under the blanket. Not that I'd like you to think that any of us ever did that.
This is shaping up as a really good race, and I don't think anyone's really going to break away, but saying that, probably someone will.
I don't know if you've got any tyre choice yet, Mark.
Not at the moment. I'm looking around for the Michelin man. There was a bit of tyre changing going on the grid, so as soon as I get them and no doubt you'll get them as well up there. We'll be able to compare notes between the Bridgestone runners, the 6 of them, and the rest on the Michelins, and obviously the team Tech 3 Yamaha team on Dunlop, as well as the Pramac boys.
Yeah, in fact, I've got the Bridgestones now. So Gibernau is a hard front and a hard rear, a medium rear. Everybody's gone for a hard front. Everybody's gone for a medium rear, apart from John Hopkins, who has gone for a hard rear. So that's not too difficult to work at. It's hard front, hard rear, apart from Hopkins, who has gone for a medium rear, apart from John Hopkins, who's gone for a hard rear. So that is the Bridgestone choice. Okay, grid lining up, 30 laps, Saxon Ring Circuit, round 10 of the championship. What a race it's going to be for Valentino Rossi. He's got to get on the podium at least to stop Nicky Hayden running away with the championship. Good start here, absolutely vital. The lights go to red. Race is underway. Good start by McCollum. Good start also by Kenny Roberts. Who's going to tip it in first? Is it going to be Kenny Roberts? It is. Kenny Roberts is not. It's Danny Petrosa that leads the way. Kenny Roberts second and Nicky Hayden in third place.
Great start from Nicky Hayden in the front row. Valentino has ended up from that. He looks like he's about 8th or 9th in the middle of that pack at the moment.
You have to be careful, don't you? Because okay, you want to make up ground, but that first corner has brought down many a rider, but not his fault. So Valentino Rossi has to be careful.
Up in 8th spot at the moment there, behind Hopkins and in front of Nakano.
So that is a cracking start by Valentino Rossi. Now the big fear of all these riders is that the little man at the front will get away as he did at Donington Park and disappear. They will not want that to happen, I can assure you. And the likes of Nicky Hayden in third place will try all he can to get past perhaps Kenny Roberts as quick as he can. But Kenny Roberts hanging in there well in second place at the moment. This is where Casey Stoner crashed this morning with his very fast right-hander. They plunge down the hill. Here comes Nicky Hayden up the inside of Kenny Roberts. Hayden has taken the lead. Hayden taking the lead. Petrosa almost runs in a bit wide and almost lets Kenny Roberts through. Nicky Hayden leads the way here in Germany. Petrosa second, Roberts third.
Now Hayden will be wanting to do what they feared Petrosa will do, will just grab the bull by the horns and wick it up and disappear. Now Rossi in front of Hopkins.
They cross the start and finish line now. Hayden, Petrosa, Roberts, Tamada has come from absolutely nowhere in fourth place. Rossi behind Marco Melandri, currently in 6th place. I thought it was Makoto Tamada. I didn't want to say, to be really honest with you. I can't believe what a start by Tamada up into 4th place. What a start by Valentino Rossi. What can Hayden do at the front? Bad start by Caparossi in 8th place. Gibernau and Nakano, 9 and 10. Chris Mueller's done okay from the start. Colin Edwards' miserable time continues in 14th place.
And a remarkable time from Hayden in that first lap of 25.819 from a standing start.
Look at Valentino Rossi. He really, really means business in 6th place at the moment.
Everybody not scared to say too much at the moment as Hayden trying to bust these guys open, trying to get that gap. He said to me yesterday, he said, I think it's my day. I want to win the next 2 races and really take a stranglehold on this championship, and this is the way to do it.
Koto Tamada momentarily up into 3rd place. Now he's been relegated to 4th by Marco Melandri, who's also right up there. It's Valentino Rossi at the back of this group, just tucked in behind Kenny Roberts.
The stalker, that's about what you'd say at the moment, isn't he? Just sitting there, but he's in the group that he wants to be in.
Over the start and finish line, Danny Petrosa up the inside now of his teammate Nicky Hayden. He's well placed. Danny Petrosa wants to go up the inside. Hayden leaves it very, very late indeed. No way through. We ride with Rossi. The man in front of him, Kenny Roberts Jr. Rossi, I would think, not too unhappy at the situation at the moment, but he will be keeping a very wary eye on the men at the front, Petrosa and Hayden, just hoping that they are not going to get away at the front, and he's going to have to work very hard to get past the likes of Kenny Roberts Jr., a revitalised Makoto Tamada, Marco Melandri, if he's going to catch those 2 Repsol Honda men at the front.
And Jose Luis Cardoso coming into the pits on the Carmac Ducati, so the first time after 2 laps.
Cardoso out of the race, but what a battle we have in Austin here. Makoto Tamada, Mark, caught me totally by surprise. So I came up the hill, I thought, that's Makoto Tamada, I dare not say it.
Well, it's been struggling all year, well, more than a year since he's got off the Bridgestones onto the Michelin tyres and having no faith in the front end, and particularly around here is one place we do need faith in the front end.
And here comes Marco Melandri working very, very hard indeed. Marco Melandri still in 4th place. This is Valentino Rossi at the back of the pack in 6th spot. Hayden rising open a few precious meters at the front, and his car. Oh, Alex Hoffman out of the race also. Can he believe it? Front of his home crowd and out of the race. Right, they sort themselves out. 27 laps to go. Hayden leads. Pedrosa second. Melandri third. Tamada coming under a little bit of pressure there from Kenny Roberts. Kenny Roberts, and behind Kenny Roberts we have Valentino Rossi, Loris Capirossi up there, John Hopkins, Shinji Nakano, fastest lap of the race so far. Marco Melandri at 1:23.524. And the man that Kaji announced was during the week that he'd been riding the last 2 races with a fractured collarbone. No wonder it was hurting so much. Well, he said to Nicky Hayden, Mark Brax, you're in the perfect position. There's nobody in front of you off that start and finish line. He's made the start he really wanted to, hasn't he?
He certainly has, and he just wants to lead this race with entirety. He was very disappointed at Donington, and by people saying that he didn't know how to lead races after Assen, it's really fired him up, and he really wants to prove that he is going to be, if it turns out the way he wants to be a worthy champion, being able to win races when everybody is basically nearly 100% fit.
Here comes Rossi up the inside of Kenny Roberts, and he's got past him. Roberts has now moved, Rossi has now moved up into 5th place. I remember in those epic battles at Sete Gibernau, that was Valentino Rossi's favourite overtaking manoeuvre, bottom of the hill round the left-hander. Doesn't run him wide as he did in that battle with Sete Gibernau 3 years ago. Rossi keeping the leaders in sight. They cross the line now. Danny Pedrosa up the inside of Hayden. Danny Pedrosa on the brakes very, very late indeed. Hayden hangs on to the lead. Hayden does not run it wide either. Marco Melandri looking nice and comfortable in 3rd place. Makoto Tamada now coming under pressure from Valentino Rossi. Kenny Roberts in 5th place. Loris Capirossi 6th. Shinya Nakano in 8th place. John Hopkins 9th. Chris Vermeulen going well in 10th spot. Here's the overtaking manoeuvre. Rossi on the brakes up the inside. There is nothing Kenny Roberts can do.
Now, Nick, I've got the Michelin tyre guide with me at the moment. Tamada's gone for a soft front and a big profile, so he wants to get as much grip as he can. Elias has done the same. Pedrosa's on a medium front, as well as Hayden is on the medium front. Rossi's gone for the soft front, as well as Melandri, repeating Elias and Tamada. As far as the Edwards has gone for the smaller profile front tyre on a soft, as well as Roberts, he's gone for the soft compound as well. And on the rear, they've all gone for medium, but a medium 2 or a medium 1, depending on what you want. The medium 1 is just slightly harder than the medium 2. We'll decide for that. The only one on soft rear is Tony Elliott.
Fastest lap of the race now to Danny Pedrosa at 1:23.355 for the man from pole position. We ride with Valentino Rossi. That's Makoto Tamada in front of them, and not quite close enough as they go over the start and finish line. Thunder past my commentary box window. 25 laps to go into turn 1. Kenny Roberts now coming under pressure from Loris Capirossi. Got to say, Loris Capirossi at the back of this group has joined in the fun. There's 7 riders in there at the moment that are very much close enough to put in a threat of winning the race. So Loris Capirossi still not 100% fit. Fastest in the morning warm-up, but it's a very impressive lap on race tyres. Who knows? Hayden still leads. Pedrosa gives him a really tough time. But Hayden, just his voice on the start and finish line when you interviewed him, I thought, Mark, exuded confidence and real determination.
Yeah, he's been doing that all weekend. Like, when you look at the consistency of the lap times he was doing during all the practice sessions, and the one just slightly in the mid-23s that he was doing, mid to high ones, but doing them more consistently than his teammate Pedrosa. Those two are leading the way, and this has just been reflected in the race at the moment as Hayden just hangs on to that lead by about 0.2 of a second.
Rossi seemingly quite content to hang in there in 5th place at the moment. This isn't Donington Park where he had to race his way through the field, picking off people all the time. He hasn't got to do that because the leaders are not getting away. And behind him is Kenny Roberts Jr. and then Loris Capirossi.
Nick, I've got Lucio Ceccanello with me, team owner and team. Oh, as they go past, screaming past again. By the time they get past, I should be able to have him. Lucio, bitterly disappointed. Very big disappointment for you with Casey. Can you tell us what was actually happening after he got the scan okay?
Really unbelievable the strong position of the chief medical doctor. We really didn't expect such a strong decision because Casey didn't have any
concussion, didn't have any problem, always was conscious and talking with the doctor and say that he was okay. But at the end, because they were surprised, the doctor saw the crash, the helmets. He was scared because looking the helmets was a quite big impact. But in fact, it was not like this. It's just because it was the stone and so on. But anyway, even with the negative scan, the chief medical doctor don't want to take the responsibility and says just the rider is not fit to race.
That's very sad for you.
Yeah, very sad, and really, everybody, we are disappointed. Even the doctor from the clinical model is disappointed, but even here, nobody has the power to go against the decision of the chief medical doctor.
Thank you, Lucio.
Lucio Cecchinello telling us exactly what is happening to Casey Stoner. He is not being allowed to race. That is a really, really big surprise in this race. Makoto Tamada has gone past Marco Melandri. He's now giving Danny Pedrosa a really tough time in second place. For all the people that do the sweepstake, that includes us, that name did not occur on that sheet of paper. Tyre choice may be why he's going so well early in the race, Mark.
Yeah, the tyre choice is going for the soft front, and he needs that with as much confidence in the front as he can. As we said before, he's been struggling on the Michelin to get that confidence in there to really push it hard. And the softer one, he'll be able to feel it a bit more than what the rest of them are going for the medium compound front. As we look now, it's still Hayden leading his teammate just at the moment. At that split, it was 1.171 of a second, so Pedrosa is really trying to close the gap.
I really think from Loris Capirossi to Nicky Hayden at the front, the gap is 1.3 seconds. It really matters a little. I think these are the men that are going to contest this particular race as Marco Melandri gets back up the inside of Makoto Tamada. Tamada, of course, winner of 2 Grand Prix a couple of years ago, riding on those Bridgestone tyres. He won at Motegi, his home Grand Prix, and also won the Rio Grand Prix in Brazil.
Now we see Rossi up the 5th position, Nick, but look at his teammate Colin Edwards in 14th, nearly 10 seconds behind.
Here comes Tamada once again up the inside of Marco Melandri. Who is he on there on the brakes? He certainly is. Nicky Hayden still fighting off the challenge of Danny Pedrosa. Tamada this time forced a little bit wide by Marco Melandri. Marco Melandri hangs on to 3rd place. I think there's a lot of sparring going on out there at the moment, don't you, Mark?
Oh, it certainly is. It's just really going to hot up with 22 laps to go. We're not even a 3rd race distance at the moment. And look at these, you're running it wide just slightly, and all you need is a slightest mistake to let this bunch through. Rossi now 0.8 of a second behind at the end of that lap.
Hayden still leads the way from Danny Pedrosa.
Seeing Pedrosa bike moving violently there as he tried to get the most gas out of the coming down that long left-hand corner down the hill.
Marco Melandri 3rd, Makoto Tamada 4th, Tino Rossi in 5th place, and Kenny Roberts, Loris Capirossi, Shinya Nakano, Chris Vermeulen now up into 9th place in front of his teammate John Hopkins.
Maybe the tyre choice was what came into play then, Nick.
Here comes Marco Melandri up the inside of Danny Pedrosa. Marco Melandri moves into 2nd place. Both 250cc world champions Valentino Rossi has also got past Makoto Tamada. They like that, Ben. Tamada fights back immediately. But Rossi now up into 4th place. Look out for the Italians. Melandri and Rossi are on the charge. Over the start and finish line, 21 laps to go. Another absolutely superb MotoGP race. Pedrosa up the inside of Marco Melandri, not able to get through. But Makoto Tamada has got back in front of Valentino Rossi. That is no mean feat. Kenny Roberts still in there, as also is Loris Capirossi in 7th place.
Now I've just got Pete Benson with me, team manager of Nicky Hayden. The best thing we saw then was Marco Melandri getting in front of Danny Pedrosa.
Well, yeah, you know, Marco's pretty fast today, and anyone behind us is a threat. You know, they're all pretty close together, so yeah, I don't know how you look at that.
Well, yeah, you can take the confidence out of the consistency that Nicky was putting in during practice and qualifying.
Oh yeah, that was good. I mean, that's probably the best practice sessions we've had all year. Things kind of fell into place, and just hopefully we can keep the pace up long enough to do the business.
Well, he looked pretty determined on the grid. I think he's going to keep it up there all the high water.
Oh, he will. You know he will.
All right, thanks.
Plunge down the hill. Comes Marco Melandri thinking about now having a little sniff up the inside round the left of Nicky Hayden. Not able to do so. Valentino Rossi's got back in front of Makoto Tamada. I bet Valentino Rossi's been surprised also by the performance of Makoto Tamada. Fabulous to see the Japanese rider really back in big form. As Mark said, he's struggled with opening inside, not doing so well on the Bridgestone. He's going to try and go back up the inside of Valentino Rossi as they break for the right hander, not able to do so. And Rossi now is right back in contention, but we have a new race leader, and it's Marco Melandri. Melandri leads the race with 20 laps to go. Winner of 2 races already this season. And Marco Melandri, as I said, casually announced absolutely side by side that he'd been riding with a fractured collarbone for the last 2 races. One of that horrendous accident in Barcelona 4 weeks ago. He leads here at the Sachsenring, and it is pretty hot and hairy behind him.
Look at him slide that back tyre, the next one at the moment, but Melandri would have taken so much confidence out of that, knowing how hard he can ride with a broken collarbone. Now he's getting back to fitness, he'll just be going even harder. And it'll be interesting to see with he's got the soft front and the bigger profile tyre and the medium #1 tyre on the rear. So maybe if he tries to break away on the soft tyre and just then nurse it back towards the end of the race.
Want to be interested to see how Nicky Hayden reacts after leading the race for so long. Here goes Valentino Rossi up the inside of Hayden. Rossi takes over 3rd place. The crowd go absolutely wild. He's not German. He may be Italian, but he's now in 3rd place. Danny Pedrosa and Marco Melandri. Oh, Kenny Roberts has come from nowhere. Oh, Kenny Roberts has gone down. Makoto Tamada has gone down. So Roberts got at the inside of Makoto Tamada, took out the Japanese rider on the Koenigsegg Minolta Honda. Tamada looks like he's injured, lying in the gravel trap. So 2 riders out. Let's see if the race will continue.
Just Edwards in a bit too hot there, trying to see what going over to.
And there is Kenny Roberts now, alongside Makoto Tamada. Kenny Roberts immediately over to see him. You've got to say that it was probably poor old Kenny Roberts' fault. Yes, it was. Yeah, took out Tamada.
Too hot going in there. They're going to acute angle trying to get it around that corner, and just wasn't going to work for him. But he's just so distraught at the moment. And Kenny Roberts, one of those guys that would definitely do nothing to try and take another rider out.
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely erasing an accident. Right, Melandri, Pedrosa, and that man Rossi. Don't write him off. Write him off at your peril.
Well, we said after the race times yesterday on the race tyres that he was up there with the best of them, and he's just proving that. He's got the good start, picked them off one by one, now up in the 3rd spot. And looking at the sight we've got is on board with Rossi at the moment.
Here comes Rossi on the brakes up the inside, not able to get through this time. Or has he got through? He has. Valentino Rossi has got through. I apologise. Valentino Rossi has got past Danny Pedrosa, who's up into 2nd place. Nicky Hayden is there. Loris Capirossi is there. It does appear that Makoto Tamada is okay. He's out of the gravel trap as we race by. 18 laps to go. What a cracking MotoGP race. Marco Melandri leads. Valentino Rossi on the brakes, trying to go up the inside, not able to do so. Danny Pedrosa and Nicky Hayden give chase. At the back of the group, Loris Capirossi. 2 men out of this group, Kenny Roberts and Makoto Tamada, crashing coming into the last turn, a lap ago. Gotta say, Mark, I didn't think Valentino Rossi could win this race. He certainly could win this race, couldn't he?
Very much so at the moment. As we watch a replay there, you can see the angle that Roberts has gone into. A bit of too much front brake as he's tried to tip it in, lost the traction of it, and Tamada's just been in the wrong spot at the wrong time to get the bike, and Kenny Roberts cannonballing into him.
We'll wait to hear any news on Makoto Tamada, but I think he probably was okay. Kenny Roberts obviously okay after the accident.
He would have been a bit sore in the left leg there, Nick, by being hit by the bike, but something like 140 k's they go through that final corner.
Rossi sizing up Marco Melandri's favourite overtaking point. Valentino Rossi leads the German Grand Prix here at that Sachsenring. He just loves that left-hander at the bottom of the hill. How many times over the last few years have we seen him overtake people? We've seen him make mistakes here also on the very last lap of a race. No mistake this time. Valentino Rossi leads, chasing his 4th Grand Prix victory of the season. Marco Melandri 2nd. Danny Pedrosa in 3rd place. Nicky Hayden 4, Loris Capirossi 5. All closes up at turn 1. Nicky Hayden having to work very, very hard at the moment in 4th place to hang in there with them, and coming under a little bit of pressure now from Loris Capirossi.
And the crowd went absolutely ballistic when they only saw that on the big screens that Rossi was up the inside.
You've got to say, as far as the championship goes, this would be amazing.
Well, now we see that Hayden's back in fourth. He went from first to third and back to fourth in the space of a couple of laps. And if he's been unnerved or anything, but then to see Rossi and Pedrosa, his two main title adversaries out in front of him, was really going to have his head going. And now he's really got to answer the call.
Well, yeah, just confirmation of the tyre choice that Mark gave us. Melandri front, soft, rear, medium. Leads the way. 2 Grand Prix wins. Sorry, Melandri in second place, 2 Grand Prix wins this season. And Rossi is breaking them up at the front. There is no doubt about it. Rossi is getting away at the front. Who would have believed this after watching him struggle in practice and qualifying? So Mark quite rightly pointed out, he put in some very consistent times on his race tyres. Across the line now. There are 16 laps to go. The gap just over 3/10 of 1 second. We ride with Marco Melandri as they tip it into turn 1. So we ride with Danny Pedrosa. Marco Melandri has just appeared in second place.
Now, we also said in the lead up to this that how crucial these next 2 races are. The final back-to-backs before the summer break. We're here now at Saxonwing next week at Laguna Seca. And Rossi now just throwing down the gauntlet to say, you reckon I was out of it, boys? And the first time yesterday he actually said, I'm worried about this championship.
Rossi trails Nicky Hayden in the championship by 35 points. This would be a massive 25 points for the world champion if he could win this race. A mistake there by Marco Melandri, and Danny Pedrosa moves into second place. So, in some ways, this is the head-to-head we've been talking about, isn't it?
Yeah,
Danny Pedrosa versus Valentino Rossi. Right, who's going to come out on top?
Oh, you couldn't go past the man with the number 46 on.
Down the hill. 5th gear, 6th gear for some riders. 5th for the Suzuki Circuit on the lap chart from. But certainly on the lap we did on the television, somebody was putting it into 6th as one of them. Up the hill. This is where Robertson Tamada crashed 5 laps ago. Pedrosa now 2nd, Melandri 3rd. Nicky Hayden, who led the way in the opening stages, in 4th place. Nicky Hayden not being hounded by Loris Capirossi at the moment. Loris Capirossi also hanging in there. 15 and 30, half distance. Ricardo 6th. Chris Vermeulen in 7th place. John Hopkins 8th. Carlos Checker 9th. Sete Gibernau in 10th place. 11 is Colin Edwards. 12th is Tony Elias. We ride with Marco Melandri in 3rd place. Nicky Hayden right behind him. James Ellison picking up some welcome points in 13th place.
And no word yet from Tony Gamalda Pit about Ricardo Tamada at the moment. As soon as I get anything, I'll just ask the question. They don't know, but as soon as we know, everybody else will.
That's fair enough, Mark. From looking at the later stages, the fact that the race is allowed to continue, he obviously was moved pretty quickly. So let's hope Ricardo Tamada is okay. And brought down in the accident by Kenny Roberts Jr. Roberts getting up the inside and then losing the front end of the machine, skittling down. And there is Kenny Roberts, and I think by his very reaction to the incident, he was very, very upset about it. There he goes. Tamada gets a ride then on the top of the KR machine, doesn't he? Sort of almost like riding a sledge. Goes across the track. 14 to go. Rossi's lead. 2/10 of 1 second over Pedrosa. He hasn't broken the field. Marco Melandri 3rd, Nicky Hayden 4th, Loris Capirossi in 5th place. Loris Capirossi just dropping off the pace a little bit now. 6/10 of 1 second between the first 4 riders. And it's one of these 4 that is going to win this German Grand Prix. What an important race this is going to be. Rossi has won in Qatar, Italy, Catalonia this season, chasing his 4th win of the season. Danny Pedrosa, of course, has won in China and at Donington Park 2 weeks ago. Nicky Hayden has won in Assen, the Dutch TT. So they've all sampled success this season. Loris Capirossi winning that opening Grand Prix of the season on the Ducati at Jerez. Top of the hill, 5th gear, where Casey Stoner crashed during the morning warm-up. Pedrosa just about hanging in there. Nicky Hayden definitely getting a bit of second wind now. In 4th place, round the left, up the little incline they come. Into this tricky left that brings them back into the start and finish straight. Hayden in 4th place, Loris Capirossi, as I say, dropping off the pace a bit now in 5th spot. 13 laps to go. Rossi chasing his 4th Grand Prix victory at the Saxon Ring.
Nick, I've got Chuck Hanson with me, the team manager of the KR team. Obviously disappointed, but what did Kenny have to say when he came back in?
Well, no, obviously it looks like everybody's okay. Monitor might have an injury with his leg, but he should get checked out by doctors. He felt it was time to, he had to make a move and get by, and what he didn't really expect was Nicky coming in from the outside. So, he's on the brakes probably a little longer than he needed to be, and, just front let go.
One of those racing things.
Yeah, exactly. It's disappointing, but it's nice to be racing up in the top 5 or 6 and having a chance at it. And I think we looked pretty good for the race, overall. And Kenny felt very comfortable, but
Very good for next weekend then.
Look out to the team manager of the KR team talking about Kenny Roberts' accident. Brought down the in the car, and quietly producing a very good ride into 6th place on that Bridgestone short Kawasaki. Back at the front, Rossi still leads. Pedrosa coming under increasing pressure now from Marco Melandri in 3rd place. Nicky Hayden just tucked in behind Melandri. Hayden really would love to finish in front of Danny Pedrosa and Valentino Rossi to keep that World Championship lead nice and big. But I think if he's going to finish in front of both of those two, Mark, he's going to have to win the race.
Exactly right. He's got to do his move very shortly now. He's over, 0.3 of a second at the end of that lap, or 0.4 of a second really. And he's really got to make a move now. And you can just see that gap just starting to get a little bit bigger each time they go around.
We ride with Danny Pedrosa. The glimpse of yellow you're going to get momentarily is the Yamaha of the championship, not the championship winner, the world champion, Valentino Rossi. There he is. The head-to-head, in many ways, we've been really waiting for. We probably haven't had a really big head-to-head between these two. I think it came probably in Le Mans in France where Rossi won it handstand and then broke down, didn't we? And Marco Melandri actually went on to win the race. But this is the competition, the old and the new in many ways. Valentino Rossi, the world champion, the undisputed king of MotoGP. The young pretender, Danny Pedrosa, coming in, 20 years old, 4 pole positions, 2 race wins, and really giving Valentino Rossi and the established stars a tough time. He in turn has been given a really tough time though by Marco Melandri. They come up into the left, into the start and finish straight. They go through, there will be 11 laps to go. Great on-board stop, absolutely superb. A real battering then for Danny Pedrosa, but he's still second. Melandri 3rd, Hayden 4th, and that little bit of a gap, yes, a fair gap now, well over 1.5 seconds between Nicky Hayden and Lawrence Capirossi. So it's 4 men really. What a ride by Chris Vermeulen. Chris Vermeulen up into 7th place, and it's a all Suzuki battle, isn't it, between Chris Vermeulen and John Hopkins. And at the moment, it's the Australian that's winning that battle, because Chris Vermeulen is in 7th place, John Hopkins 8th, Carlos Checo 9, Sete now 10, Colin Edwards still struggling in 11th place, Tony Elias 12th, and James Ellison in 13th place.
Now Melandri was closing down on Pedrosa, but it's really made Pedrosa sit up and take notice, because he's closed down Rossi down to just 0.115 of a second the lead. And looking at the Yamaha compared to the Honda is running this race a lot more smoothly than what Rossi is, even taking how hard Rossi is trying to wring the neck of this Yamaha and try to make a break.
Slumps down the hill, Rossi, Pedrosa, Melandri, Nicky Hayden. It really does not get a lot better than this. Just over 10 laps to go. Any one of these 4 riders could win this race. It's not often you say that in World Championship motorsport these days at the very highest level with Rossi. 3rd gear, 4th gear, now you want to bug it down through the gearbox bit momentarily. Pedrosa trying to get up the inside, Rossi leaves his braking very late indeed. 2nd gear into the first right-hander, 10 laps to go. Rossi under real pressure. Real pressure, not only in this race, but in MotoGP in general, from the man in 2nd place, Danny Pedrosa.
And Pedrosa running a very sensible race. He's not trying to get back in front of Rossi at the moment, but just sit there looking at him, waiting for his time to run. Well, he's going to have a good look in the next 10 laps to see if he can shove it up the inside of him and move into the lead. As we look at Rossi sliding both wheels right out to the ripple strip of that critical left-hander at the top of the hill.
Danny Pedrosa's riding a Valentino Rossi race in 2nd place, isn't he?
Very much so.
Up up the hill they come. These two blind left-handers. This is a fabulous place to watch MotoGP racing. Ever get the chance, come up here, two blinds, and then this blinding right-hander. Rossi going through there in 6th gear by the look of things. Now going down from the gearbox down to 3rd. Rossi, Mark, is certainly sitting on the indicator, was in 6th gear.
Well, that's interesting because getting the telemetry sheets.
And Marco Melandri, I just got to say, has moved up into 2nd place in front of Danny Pedrosa.
And they're about to come past me, so I won't say anything for the next 30 seconds.
Sorry, Mark, but yeah, think about that. 6th gear through there. Wow. Over the start and finish line, the gap, 0.3 of a second. Rossi leads. Danny Pedrosa trying to regain 2nd place, not able to do so. Nicky Hayden trying to ride around the outside of him. Hayden wants to get up with these two at the front. Hayden not able to do so. It's so hard to overtake here. Hayden trying absolutely everything he knows to get past his teammate. He can't do it at the moment. He's got to be patient. You've got to say Rossi is not getting away at the front. That's the important thing for these three guys.
As much as he tries, but Hayden as well, here's a replay of Melandri coming up the inside of Pedrosa into that left-hander. But Pedrosa will come to fire it back, and I think Hayden has just been sitting there biding his time. Now he'll see that gap of Rossi a bit has been closed down again. But going back to that 6th gear through that fast right.
Just coming up, yeah.
The rest of the guys on the hot, Nicky Hayden only uses 5th gear, as well as the Suzuki's of Hopkins and the Newman. So interesting the gear ratio that these guys do use, and to be going through their pink and 6th gear is just unbelievable.
Down the bottom of the hill, Rossi leads, Melandri 2nd, Pedrosa 3rd, Hayden 4th. Does Rossi want to be leading at this stage? Probably at this stage. Does he want to be leading here coming into the last lap? I'm not sure, because it's a very favourite overtaking manoeuvre, that particular bend, especially by Valentino Rossi. We ride with Rossi, full throttle. Now you watch, suddenly those brake bits are going to come on. It brakes absolutely as hard as he dares for the right-hander at the end of the start and finish straight. 8 laps to go for Valentino Rossi. This, you've got to say, would be one of his best ever Grand Prix victories if he can win this race. There's still a long way to go, and 3 gentlemen by the name of Melandri, Pedrosa and Hayden have very different ideas than that.
Well, Hayden at the end of that lap, 0.6 of a second off the lead of Rossi, but he's 0.2 of a second behind Pedrosa, who in turn was 0.1 of a second behind Melandri. So there's still no way that you can say anyone's got this race in the bag at the moment, as we see Melandri close right up on Rossi going through that fast downhill left.
They're at the bottom of the hill, they start to climb up. This is on-board superb stuff, isn't it? These are the blind left-handers now. This is the right coming up that Rossi was going through in 6th gear. Oh, Melandri very close indeed. This is the right, 6th gear, plunge down the hill. And this is where they like to overtake. I don't think Melandri is close enough. No, he's on the outside, not on the inside. He puts across to the inside. Is there a gap there? No, there is not.
Through that second blind left, I think he got on the gas a bit earlier and ran it up the back of Rossi and just had to feather the shoulder a bit so he didn't hit him, and that just wasn't that drive down the hill.
Up over the start finish line, we ride with Marco Melandri, the man in his sights, Valentino Rossi. 7 laps to go, another absolutely superb MotoGP race. Danny Pedrosa goes up the inside of Marco Melandri and takes over 2nd place. Nicky Hayden still working very comfortable indeed in 4th spot. I really don't know who my money is on. They aren't been really on a movie there, Mark.
Most honest you've been, and he actually said to me this morning that you thought Rossi could get a podium, but none of us even contemplated actually leading the race for this long.
No. Never underestimate it. Don't underestimate any of these four. They are absolutely at the top of their profession.
Yeah, I was glad you said that, because I think Pedrosa is going to give him a front wheel showing in the next couple of seconds.
Right. Well, Nicky Hayden sat back there, chewing a bit of Kentucky tobacco, and just thought, yeah, you get on with it up the front. I can hang in there. Don't you worry, I'm going to make my move when it really matters.
Well, I hope you're right there, Nick. No matter which way it goes, there's still a league in the championship heading into Laguna Seca next week, but he'd really like to beat his teammate fair and square as Melandri comes up the inside but grabs 2nd again.
So does Rossi want to be leading the race there on the last lap? What do you reckon? I'm not too sure.
I think he's quite happy where he is at the moment, making fight over the strap.
Into the start and finish straight, 6 laps to go. A 4-way battle as good as you will get. The greatest riders in the world around this very demanding circuit. Melandri just holds off Danny Pedrosa. You can almost feel Nicky Hayden's frustration there, can't you? He almost tries to ride over the top of Danny Pedrosa to get past him. There's just no way through there, is there?
Not at all, but I think Nicky Hayden's going to find a way through, come hell or high water in the next couple of laps. Well, he's got to, hasn't he, Nick? That's the simple summation of it. He's done the sums, and if he stays there too longer, he's going to be off the podium, and the points gap will narrow even more.
Very fast left-hander at the bottom of the hill, fourth gear. Rossi gets both wheels sliding through here onto the rumble strip. Not really a rumble strip, that's part of the track, isn't it? Full of rubber. And up the hill. Third, fourth gear. Blind left-handed. Then the front down the hill. And I think Melandri is perhaps close enough this time to have a nibble up the inside of Valentino Rossi. Let's have a look. They plunge down the hill. No, he's not close enough. This is where I think he would try and make his move. Rossi's making life very, very difficult. Rossi is a tremendous rider at the front, Mark, isn't he? He can ride very fast, but very defensively.
Certainly can. And the other interesting thing, too, we haven't overlooked in the last couple of laps, with Rossi being on the smaller profile front tyre, compared to what he's normally going for the... No, sorry, I've miscorrected that. He's been on the big profile for the first time, actually, so he's normally been on that smaller profile front. Now he's gone for the larger profile in this race.
Rossi still leads. This is the all-Suzuki battle, still being led by Chris Vermeulen 7th, Hopkins 8th. Loris Capirossi is still in 6th place, Shinji Nakano, in 5th place, Shinji Nakano 6th. Chris Vermeulen, Cabrera, that's almost as important, the outcome of that one, as it is the outcome of this race at the front. Pedrosa on the inside of Melandri to take over second place once again. It really needs one person, doesn't it, to start having a go at Valentino Rossi. The trouble is that they're scrapping amongst themselves a little bit too much, Pedrosa and Melandri, to concentrate 100% on having a go at Valentino Rossi. Now Pedrosa, this is where he crashed on Saturday morning. Don't need reminding of that, I'm sure. Has he run it a bit wide? Has Marco Melandri come through? He certainly has, Marco Melandri.
And Hayden as well.
And Nicky Hayden has come through as well. So Danny Pedrosa has dropped to 4th. Nicky Hayden up into 3rd place. That was a mistake by Danny Pedrosa. He doesn't like that bend, does he, Mark?
No, lost his confidence there on yesterday morning when he crashed, but he's trying to repay the favour to Hayden at the moment. But he ran it really wide, nearly running off there. I think he actually had a bit of a front end lose and managed to pick it up before he ran off the track.
It's all falling into the hands of Valentino Rossi. There is Danny Pedrosa. Marco Melandri has gone through. Nicky Hayden's going to come through. Oh, yeah, Nicky Hayden comes through on a very tight line indeed, very possibly.
Had nothing to do with Melandri, just pushed him out of the way, basically.
Speedway style. Open it up for your teammate. Trouble is, he pushed his teammate out of the way. Got it wrong, didn't he?
And that's really helped Valentino Rossi.
Just helped Valentino Rossi. 3.5 laps to go. You don't have to give a sniff to Valentino Rossi. If he gets a sniff, he will take full advantage.
And I don't think he's even looked behind himself once during this entire time he's been at the front. He just had the head down under the paint and going for it.
Rossi at his very, very best. Marco Melandri, Nicky Hayden, Danny Pedrosa showing everything they can to try and catch the world champion. But just a little bit of shenanigans down at that left-hander, just given Rossi not a big lead, but a little bit more of an advantage than he'd had before.
Well, Melandri's closed that down, whatever advantage Hayden's got with him. It'll be interesting to see what Pedrosa's gap time at the end of this lap in 4th spot. I'm
nervous. I don't know about those people watching there. 3 to go. Melandri up the inside of Valentino Rossi and takes the lead. Marco Melandri takes the lead and sticks it firm, doesn't he? Great overtaking manoeuvre by Marco Melandri. Melandri now leads the way from Valentino Rossi. Nicky Hayden and Danny Pedrosa right in contention. 3 laps of this magnificent circuit to go. What a race.
Hayden's got the sniff of the bone. He's going to go fishing shortly at the moment too and see if he can go with the flow that Melandri set up.
Here we go, over the start and finish straight. A little bit of a gap. Rossi let him through, I don't think he did, but as I was saying, Mark, I don't think Rossi wants to be leading the way going into that last lap. We wait and see.
It's only 2.5 laps to go now, and Melandri's really trying to pull out just the inkling of a lead at the moment. Probably a 1.5 bike lengths at the moment as Rossi's there now. Pedrosa and Hayden stalking Rossi as well. So it'll be interesting to see with Rossi on a soft front compared to Hayden on a medium front, if that's having any bearing on what's going on as well. It's Melandri had a soft front as well, and we go to Pedrosa who had the medium. So the Repsol Honda boys on medium fronts and the other two on the soft front.
2 laps to go. We ride with the race leader, Marco Melandri, chasing his 3rd Grand Prix victory of the season. He crosses the line. Just over 5 miles left of this particular race. And Melandri certainly has opened up a bit of a gap, about 2. Oh, and Valentino Rossi hangs on to 2nd place as Nicky Hayden tries to take over 2nd place, but is unable to do so. Nicky Hayden, you said, was going to have a go. He had a go then, and it did not work. And Rossi has certainly closed up on Marco Melandri. Oh. Danny Pedrosa and Nicky Hayden almost collide. Danny Pedrosa had to sit up at the back of the 4-man battle for the front.
He tried to shove it through the inside of his teammate, and his teammate just threw the thing on top of the front wheel and said, "Get out of there, son, that's my line. Look at this."
That's how close Nicky Hayden got to Danny Pedrosa.
He went out of camera shot.
Here we go again. And he has to sit up, Danny Pedrosa, as he would have hit his teammate. At the front, Melandri and Rossi absolutely... Well, you could be separating them by a hair, couldn't you? It is so close at the front. 1.5 laps to go. Rossi up the inside. This is where he loves to overtake, and he is overtaken Marco Melandri. Valentino Rossi is back in the lead. Up the hill into the start and finish straight for the very last time when they go over the line. 1 lap to go. Rossi leads, Melandri 2nd. Who is going to win this race between the 2 Italians? Rossi, Melandri, Hayden and Pedrosa.
Now look where Rossi was on the track, right over on the right-hand side, trying to block that line. He might have run it a bit wide, but Melandri got really good drive out of that last corner. He got good corner speed there, but now we're going to see if Hayden can do anything to Melandri.
Hayden desperate to get past Marco Melandri and have a go at Valentino Rossi. They're at the bottom end of this difficult right-hander. There the left-handers start as they go back up the hill. 2nd gear left-handers. It won't matter left or right for these men anymore. Half a lap to go. MotoGP at its very best. Rossi leads. The crowd want Rossi to win. He may not be German, but they love him in this part of the world. But Marco Melandri is very close indeed as they go up the hill through these 2 blind left-handers, and they're going to plunge round the right. And Melandri is going to be beautifully placed to have a go at Valentino Rossi at the bottom of the hill. He is close enough. They're through the right now. And down the hill they go. Pedrosa still in 3rd or 4th place. Nicky Hayden now. This is where Melandri's going to have a go. Rossi rides very defensively. Melandri is only one way through, and that's around the outside. You're not going to get through there, Marco Melandri. Rossi pushes in wide, up towards the last corner. What a German Grand Prix. Is Valentino Rossi going to do it? Melandri tries to run around the outside, and Rossi holds the advantage. What a victory for the world champion, Valentino Rossi, here in Germany. Marco Melandri 2nd, Nicky Hayden 3rd, Danny Pedrosa in 4th place. Whoa, we've seen some great performances by the world champion. Surely Mark Brandt, that was one of the very best.
One of the best, and I'm just down here with the team. They're going absolutely ballistic. David Brivio's all over Gary Coleman. They're just so excited. They've been hugging. It's a return to form for all of them. And look at the gap between the 4 of them at the end of 30 laps, 0.307 of a second. Simply stunning.
That was a simply stunning race. A simply stunning performance by Valentino Rossi. Write him off at your peril. Laguna Seca, prepare for the arrival of the doctor.
Nick, I've got David Brivio with me. What a win. Is that one of the best races you've ever seen, Rossi?
Yeah, unbelievable. I don't know. I don't even know. Every time is the best. And this victory is really unbelievable. We suffer a lot in the practice, but when it's race day, it's unbelievable. And Jeremy and all the engineers, they did a great job this weekend, and it wasn't easy at all to start for this race, but Valentino was fantastic, and I think the team was fantastic. Thanks to everybody. Thank you.
Valentino Rossi kisses the fairing of his Yamaha. That was the team manager, Davide Brivio. Marco Melandri, what a ride by him in the 2nd place. Fractured collarbone, no problem. number 33. Come in, please. Your time is up. Nicky Hayden hangs on to that World Championship lead. And I think it was important for Nicky Hayden to finish in front of Danny Pedrosa more than anything.
Exactly, Nick. And while he's finished third, he's still increased his lead in the World Championship.
He certainly has increased his lead over Danny Pedrosa. But, Laguna Seca, All-America, he will be arriving, and you are going to see a race that you have never seen before. Because you just know that Valentino Rossi will give everything in beating Nicky Hayden and all the other Americans on their home turf. Oh, it is going to be an incredible race. What a race we've had today. Congratulations, Valentino Rossi. Well done, Nicky Hayden. That was a fabulous third place. Danny Pedrosa, I'm sure, will be disappointed in finishing fourth place, but this is his first season. He's right up there with the very, very best. And he won't be happy.
No, not with it. It just, he tried his hardest to try and get inside Hayden in those last couple of corners, but Hayden had the line and Rossi had the line as well. It's just, is this the turning point for the year? Is it the turnaround for Valentino Rossi? That's the question. But on that performance to come from 11th on the grid to win the race is just, well, words don't describe things like that. You've got to watch it again.
Nicky Hayden talks to his team men. So, important third place again. I know he'll be disappointed he didn't win the race, but as far as the championship goes, he has increased his lead as he goes into the American round. Marco Melandri, what a brave man he is. Second place, could have won the race. Collarbone still painful. And why did we think that we'd have some reference to a certain football team winning the World Cup if Valentino Rossi won the race? It was always going to happen, wasn't it? Absolutely superb. A performance from a man on the very, very top of his game. Pete Benson all smiles with Nicky Hayden. Earl Hayden, Nicky's dad. Nicky actually doesn't look too disappointed. He gave it absolutely all. There'll be plenty of those flags, won't there, in
Nick, I've just got Jeremy Burgess with me. He's walking down. One of the remarkable wins. That was simply sensational.
Yeah, we're very happy, Braxy. We did a lot of work, made a lot of changes, and I don't know why we keep making it so hard for ourselves.
Well, I said to you this morning, a bit of a frustrating weekend. You said, what else is new? But to come from that position and do what he did.
Yeah, great. Like I said to Randy, we got up into about 5th or 6th fairly quickly, and the guys in the front weren't going away, and it was just a case of finding the gaps to get between them.
Go and enjoy it, mate. I'm sure you will.
Thanks very much.
Jerry Burgess, the man behind Valentino Rossi, the man behind Wayne Garden, and the man behind Mick Doohan. He's seen it all, but he surely saw one of the best performances from one of his riders for a very, very long time.
Well, I think that's just a bit of a fill-up for next weekend too, Nick, at Laguna Seca. I think Rossi is going to be right on. Well, he got third there last year, and I think he'll take it another couple of notches this year.
There's Jerry Burgess. Jerry, man, a few words and a few smiles, but I think you got more words out of him than we normally hear, and certainly a broad smile from the Australian. Now he's going to jump into the practice. You know what he's going to do. Here we go. What an advert this man has been for MotoGP. But you see, the difference between him and other riders these days, with other riders in the past, they could do all this, couldn't they? They couldn't win races like he wins. Just superb. And he has just blown the outcome of the championship. We haven't worked out the points yet. It doesn't really matter. He has shown that he is very capable. He's got over the injuries. Even when the bike is not performing at its best, he's still capable of winning Grand Prix races. And as long as he's doing that, the championship, 7 rounds remaining, is absolutely wide open. Big hug there for Marco Melandri. And a shake with Marco Melandri's team. This is Rossi taking the lead. He loves this bend. It's the bottom of the hill. It's the left-hander up the inside. 1.5 laps to go. Team, yes. It's great Ferruccio sitting in the middle there. As I say, we can't wait to arrive at Laguna Seca after seeing a race like that. There's a helmet. He didn't smile at the cameras yesterday.
Nick, I'm just looking at Nicky Hayden as he talks to one of the TV crews. He's got a big black mark down the right-hand side of his leathers. So that proves how close him and Pedrosa went in that last couple of laps.
I'm sure that's where that came from. And there was quite an incident, wasn't it? There are the three winning machines. Rossi's Yamaha, Melandri's Honda, and Nicky Hayden's Honda. 7 days' time, the European circus arrives in the USA. It just passes the block one hell of a race. Rossi wins, Melandri second, Hayden third, Danny Pedrosa fourth, Lawrence Cappa Rossi 5, Shinya Nakano 6th, Chris Vermeulen a fantastic 7th, 8th Sete Chippenau, 9th Carlos Checa, John Hopkins in 10th place, Tony Elias 11th, Colin Edwards a disappointing 12th, James Ellison picking up some welcome points in 13th place, and Cardoso completing the lineup in 14th. There we go, Nicky Hayden 169. Valentino Rossi moves into second place in the championship, 26 points behind Nicky Hayden. He has not increased the gap. The difference is that it's not Pedrosa who is second now, it is Valentino Rossi. Yes. Hey, you don't have to talk to me about adding up the maths, I can assure you.
A remarkable race, and he's got Metarazzi's football jump on at the moment. Just one character after another, isn't he?
Isn't he just? Dino Rossi. As I say, we've seen some Grand Prix wins over the last 6 years in the Premier class from Valentino Rossi, but this is right up with the very, very best of them. It's his 83rd Grand Prix victory. What a race. Once again, I think it was MotoGP that won the battle. But a certain other World Championship event starting very soon after MotoGP, you can guarantee that there won't be a finish like that in that particular sport. Hayden, Pedrosa, Makoto Tamada from absolutely nowhere, riding a brilliant race in 4th, then relegated to 5th by Valentino Rossi. Kenny Roberts in 6th place after making a good start from the front row of the grid. But then Roberts goes down, takes Makoto out. Big style, the last turn coming into the start. Roberts goes down. We're riding with Nicky Hayden watching it. Roberts very, very worried about the condition of Tamada. Back on the track, Rossi moves into 2nd place. Now stalking his great friend and rival Marco Melandri. At the bottom of the hill, he just loves this bend. Valentino Rossi takes the lead. Perhaps he thought he could get away at this point. He was mistaken, because the charge led by Pedrosa and Melandri would just not go away. Melandri moves back into 2nd place. And then, first turn, takes the lead from Rossi.
Hayden with me, Nick. Maybe not the win you wanted, but at least you're back on the podium, mate.
Yeah, you know, we fought back after Donington, but, you know, I thought today a win was definitely possible, so I'm a little bit frustrated, but, you know, I rode as hard as I could, and these guys did a great job, and, you know, it's definitely, it was a dogfight. I kind of enjoyed it. The last lap, you know, maybe I should have tried something different, but I was hoping maybe, you know, they would open the door and I'd be there, but it didn't happen, so that's the way it goes.
Did you ask too much of your tyres too soon?
Yeah, a little bit early, definitely. My front tire felt quite, I went hard at the beginning, and I was hoping maybe to be able to get away, but couldn't quite get down in the 23, you know, 2s and stuff that it was going to take to get away, and definitely probably maybe overdid it a bit, but that's racing, and my tires actually worked really good this weekend, and my team did a great job, and you know, it was up to me at the end. I just didn't pull it off.
Well, you still got 26 points lead going into Laguna. Good on you.
All right, sounds good. We're going to enjoy it.
Thanks, mate.
He's going to enjoy Laguna. What about us? It is going to be absolutely fantastic. Just remind you, Nicky Hayden won his first ever Grand Prix at Laguna Seca last year. Valentino Rossi finished in 3rd place, but Rossi had a massive lead in the championship that time. This time it's a very, very different story. Always Valentino Rossi. Wearing, of course, the right Italian football shirt. Controversy, fun and games surrounds the young man, and what an ambassador he has been for MotoGP. Italian flag flies proudly in 2 places. The American flag there, stars and stripes. We'll see plenty of them next weekend at Laguna Seca. But this was round 10. This was in Germany. And once again, this was as good as it gets. It was a bit of a delay to get Valentino Rossi to the podium. A lot of television interviews, a lot of back slapping. Look, there we go. Absolutely on cue. He jumps past the camera, trying to make his way up there. Magnificent trophies here in Germany. Whoa, look at that. The World Cup Italy one was a lot smaller than that. But what a weekend and what a week it's been for Valentino Rossi. He told me that he celebrated long and hard into the night at Misano on Sunday night. There was a Yamaha festival there, which he attended, and he said they had one massive great party throughout the night when Italy won the World Cup. He's repaid the compliment. Rossi wins his 4th Grand Prix of the season. Jerry Burgess shakes hands with Pete Benson, Earl Hayden. Here is Valentino Rossi.
But today, so we did a great job. We make another modify for the format, another modify for the race, and then we arrive, and today the bike is very good. And I'm able to stay in front to have a great rhythm. And it's an important victory because today I have everybody in front, I have Marco, I have Federici, I have Dan, and also for wear t-shirt because it's what's happening.
There we go, the man himself.
Words from the master.
There we go, the man himself, Valentino Rossi. A lot of credit to the team, to be honest with you. It didn't look good after qualifying yesterday. They worked very hard last night. The morning warm-up, which was dry, I think, which was so important, just gave them the opportunity to get things right. When he's on the podium, there's always fun and game.
They had the confidence because, like I said a couple of times during the race, they knew they had the race pace before the qualifiers come out, because when the qualifiers went on yesterday, just threw the handling of the bike right out, and they did that bit of work. And Jerry, like you said, you head off to the crew, but they've done it before, and I'm sure they're going to do it again in the very near future.
He's still not up on the podium. He's still one. With Gavin Emmett. Not an easy job, is it, to push Valentino Rossi up those stairs and get him on the podium. He wants to talk to lots of people. He may be in Germany, but it's going to be a sea of yellow down there in front of the podium.
Well, we keep saying it's the race of the year, but they just keep getting better and better, don't they, Nick?
I really don't know what the race of the year is, to be honest. It's different races each time as well. They're not the same either, and that's what's so exciting. And different types of races all the time.
And just the quartet covered by 0.3 of a second, like that is just, that sums it all up. We've only got to look at the stat sheet then to know what a race it was. After 30 laps around this really torturous and demanding track on the physical nature of the riders and what they've got to, the bikes have got to go through.
Yukiya, of course, Valentino Rossi's long time friend, inseparable in many ways. Mows the motor home after Valentino, both from the same grid. Very satisfied. Tune-up on the team, led by Fausto Grassini, the team manager, the former 125cc world champion. They shake hands with Valentino Rossi's team as well. It's tough out there, but it's all very fair when those 4 are going at each other, isn't it? And that, of course, is very important. Here he comes. Might not go too well down in France, that particular shirt, but he won't worry about that at the moment. He's going to take it off now.
So, wir kommen zur Siegerehrung. Prize-Giving Ceremony, Bad and Win Motorrad Grand Prix von Deutschland, MotoGP und euer Applaus.
Listen to the cheers. I think they told him to take it off when he came on the Russian, so he brought it with him, and now he's putting it back on.
Well, he did take it off.
Yeah, that's right.
I think he'll be taking the top off a few bottles tonight, though, for a few frosty treats, of the way he likes to celebrate, especially after this remarkable win. Simply stunning.
Yeah. I'll shake our hands with Marco Melandri and Nicky Hayden. But I'm going to shake hands with Valentino Rossi because he has ridden an absolute superb race.
Hermann Tomczyk, der Sportpräsident des ADAC.
Start with presentations. I'll say it, a lot of the Saxon ring with a crowd of nearly 95,000 here today. Absolute sea of yellow. But first of all, it's Nicky Hayden. He's kept that 26-point lead in the championship, so whatever happens next week at Laguna Seca, Nicky Hayden will be enjoying his summer break leading the World Championship. As his dad Earl. Whole family will be there next weekend at Laguna Seca. Second place, what a ride by Marco Melandri. Fractured right collarbone. Could have won the race. What a brave man, what a superb rider.
Professor Georg Milrath, der Ministerpräsident des Landes Sachsen. Hat die große Ehre, dem Sieger zu gratulieren. Erneut der König hier vom Sachsenring. Das ist das Team Camel Yamaha. The Dr. Valentino Rossi.
You don't need to speak German to know exactly what is being announced. The Dr. Valentino Rossi wins the German Grand Prix here at the Sachsenring. There's Jerry Burgess, who we spoke to earlier. Masterminded yet another victory for Valentino Rossi. What a week it's been for Italy. Celebrates, would you believe, his 83rd Grand Prix victory. Here comes the champagne. What a weekend it's been. A couple of people have asked me when I've been in radio broadcasts, is there a World Cup hangover in Germany? Quite the opposite. Germany is very proud of the way it organised the World Cup. And when you see a race like this, a crowd like this, you realise the party is just going to go on and on and on. Stand by Laguna Seca. MotoGP is arriving next week.
Ja, da sind sie mit euch noch einmal auf dem Podium zusammen. Noch einmal